Hi everyone, Mark here from Vadino & Co. Back with a quick video to answer a viewer's question. So Razor Sharp Barbers has asked us to cover dividends, how they are and what they are and how they work. So to fully understand this topic, firstly we need to understand how a company works. So if you haven't already watched the business structures video, go back and watch that. But basically a company is a separate legal entity. It operates in its own right. It generates its own profits, pays tax on those profits at the corporate tax rate, and then retains the remainder of the profits. Now, underneath that, you've got your shareholders who essentially own the company. And when a dividend is declared, you're basically paying out those retained earnings to the shareholders at a rate that the board deems to be fit. So I'll just come around and show you this quick flow chart that I've prepared here. It's not very high tech, but it's going to do the job for what we need. So if we look up the top here, we've got $100,000 worth of profit, which has come into the company. The company pays tax on that at 30%, unless it's a small business, which it's 27.5%. So in this case, on $100,000 profit, it's going to be paying $30,000 in income tax, and that leaves us with $70,000 in retained profits. Now, let's say the board decide to pay this entire amount out as a dividend to the shareholders. If we come down to the shareholder level, for this particular company, we've got two shareholders who both own 50% each. So their dividends received are going to be identical. So basically, if we look at shareholder one, we've got $35,000 dividend, which represents 50% of this 70,000. Attached to that dividend, we've got a $15,000 franking credit, which represents 50% of the income tax paid. Now in their personal name, this dividend is grossed back up, which basically brings us to 50,000, which is essentially 50% of what this original profit was. Now the shareholder pays tax on that at whatever their taxable tax rate is, their individual tax rate. So for shareholder one, we're just assuming that they have no other income. So on $50,000, they're going to be paying $7,500 in income tax. Now, attached to their dividend, they've got the $15,000 franking credit, which the company has already paid tax for. So that franking credit is going to reduce their tax payable. And in this case, the taxpayer is going to be left with a $7,500 tax refund. So obviously at this level, it's going to be completely different for different shareholders. You know, you're going to have other income, possibly from wages or other investments, which will change total tax payable amount. But it's just to illustrate how the system works. Now, you've also got unfranked dividends, which basically means, let's assume that this profit was untaxable, or it was not taxable from the company's point of view, which can happen for various reasons, but it's not too common. You would basically pay this whole profit out, $50,000 profit out to the shareholders as an unfranked dividend, and they would pay tax at it at their own rate, but there's no franking credit attached, so they would have to pay the tax in their own under their own name. That's basically it. I hope that's answered your question. If everyone's happy to continue seeing videos like this, a little bit more informal, let us know. And if you've got any other questions, flick them through and we'll try and answer them as soon as we can. Thanks for watching.